Immigrant communities across the United States are reacting in shock to the president's sweeping new travel ban. Starting Monday, citizens from 12 countries, including Somalia, Yemen and Haiti, are barred from entering the US, and there are partial restrictions on travellers from 7 others. Trump said the restrictions were needed to protect against foreign terrorists. For Abdinasir Kahin, former Somali refugee turned American citizen who is part of Chicago's Somali-American community, the reasoning rings hollow.
There's nowhere the Somali people or the government in any way, did any subversion or anything against this country.
And in New York City's Little Yemen neighborhood, residents also expressed concern over the ban. Tawif has been in the US for about a year and works at Dubai Wholesale. He says the travel ban on all Yemenis will especially hurt people with green cards, and they'll be afraid that if they go back to Yemen to visit their families, they won't be able to come back stateside again. In Miami, Florida, Paul Christian Namphy is a community organizer working closely with Haitians in Miami's Little Haiti.
Our community is devastated by this news. And a similar ripple is going through 19 communities, not only in South Florida, but throughout the United States, because this is truly a cruel act. And the INA, when it was rolled out in the 1960s under President Johnson in 1965, was very specific in preventing this kind of discrimination. And now it's back.
Afghans who worked for the US or US-funded projects and were hoping to resettle stateside expressed fear that the travel ban would force them to return to their country, where they could face reprisal from the Taliban. Fatima, a 57-year-old Afghan women's rights defender, spoke to Reuters and asked that only her first name be shared for security reasons. She said her dreams were shattered overnight after Trump's order. According to the Migration Policy Institute, in 2023, there were just under 162,000 immigrant visas and temporary work, study and travel visas given to nationals from countries in the now banned visa categories. Legal experts believe Donald Trump's new sweeping travel ban will likely face legal challenges. The order was similar to a travel ban Trump implemented in his first term against 7 Muslim-majority countries. That previous directive faced court challenges and went through several iterations before the Supreme Court upheld the ban in 2018. Professor of law at UC Berkeley, Katerina Linas sees a likely legal route that groups could take to challenge the order.
So the version that the Supreme Court allowed to go forward excluded some of the countries initially listed. I expect this Supreme Court, these lower courts, to start looking at the justifications for particular countries. I personally am deeply concerned, indeed ashamed, that the first country on that list is Afghanistan. So I believe the first scrutiny will be on who is included and for what reasons, and then we will need to think a lot about who should be able to petition to be exempt from this very broad-ranging measure.
Some foreign officials say they are prepared to work with the US. Sierra Leone faces partial restrictions. Information Minister Chana Ba acknowledges that's due to an unusually high percentage of overstay visas in both student and visitor categories.
We are committed to ensuring that we work together with the US government to address these issues, because as a country, we would love to see our citizens not suffer restrictions and travel bans.